Are you looking to connect with your tarot deck? Then you have come to the right place, because on this channel, we work on building our spiritual confidence so we can listen to our intuition and read our tarot cards with ease. My name is Elizabeth, and today we're going to be talking about the Queen of Wands. Now, I know Royal Arcana cards are some of the most difficult. I've been told, and people have written to me and said, how do you read Royal Arcana cards? Well, today I'm going to give you some little hints into how to remember the meaning of this card. We're going to look at the elements. We're going to look at the Kabbalah. We're going to look at the astrology. We're going to look at astrology timing. And we are going to look at the deeper symbolism on this card. If you've ever wanted to know why there's sunflowers on this card or why there's a black cat, then stick with me. I'm going to spin the camera around and I'm going to talk to you about the meaning of the Queen of Wands. So, let's have a look at the Queen of Wands. I would have to say that the Queen of Wands is one of my favorite cards in the deck. And it's because of the symbolism on this card. I just love her. There's some other queens I like as well, but she's probably not my favorite of favoritist card, but she's certainly right up there. I'm going to be using my Tarot Symbolism cheat sheets, which are available in my Etsy shop. At the time of making this, I have separate bundles of all of them, or you can buy it together. I'll put the link down in the description box to buy them all together from my Etsy shop if you're interested, because that's the best value. And of course, it is a way for you to support my channel. You don't have to buy these to study with me, but it is a way of you having the deeper knowledge about the card than just listening to the video alone. I don't pull these ideas out of my head. They're actually based on the Golden Dawn allocations. So you're actually learning about the Golden Dawn attributions for the card, rather than just me making up some gobbledygook like some of the people out there on the web, which I'm sure you've come across. All right, so the Queen of Wands. Let's have a look at her in relation to, let's have a look at her on the astrological wheel first. So she is water of fire. So she's over here on the wheel and she's pulling Pisces to Aries, a water sign to a fire sign. Queens are water and the suit is fire. So this is a really interesting combination of elements. And I really love thinking about the elements in terms of understanding the Royal Arcana, because it makes more sense to me in terms of understanding the energy of the card, more so than any of the other allocations that the cards have. So we know that the Royal Arcana moves around the outside of the astrological wheel, and we know that each time the card pulls from one sign to another, it's pulling from a water sign to a fire sign. And this time, it's pulling from whatever sign it is allocated across to the suit sign. So in this case, you've got Pisces, Cancer, which is an air sign, being pulled across to Leo, which is a fire sign, which is the night. And here, in the case of the Queen, we have a water sign being pulled across to a fire sign. So Queens are water and the suit is fire. And that indicates the placement on the astrological wheel, if that makes sense. The Royal Arcana create the movement of the cards around the wheel. So The dates you would be looking at are May 11 to April 10. Traditional timing is spring. And again, if you're looking at timing, it can be much quicker to remember that one's a spring than it is to try and remember all of these dates. But it is just really interesting to know this background. I think it just gives you a deeper appreciation of the card. It makes it so much easier to remember the meanings when you're not learning them top down. What we're doing is we're learning bottom up. So I'm doing symbolism first, and then there'll be a series of videos where I talk about how you might apply all of these meanings to different scenarios. And then I'm going to do a series of videos on reading, which I'm really excited about, and how you'll interpret the card based on the different placements on a spread. So please stick with me. Like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, because as these videos are created, I'll be putting them up onto my YouTube channel. And of course, I always have a workbook that goes with my video series that, well, most of the time I do, that helps you learn as you go along. So if we look at the Queen of Wands, she is water. Queens are water, the suit is fire. So every time we look at a queen, she is going to be pulling the water sign across to the sign that is her suit allocation. So if we are looking at the queens being water and the suit is fire as feminine energy, we're looking at pulling the queen, in this instance, from Pisces across to Aries. Fire and water are enemies of each other. So straight away, that indicates the power of this card. The presence of water brings emotion to the fiery nature of the queen. So if you think about water and fire together, what does water do? Puts the fire out. When paired with the King of Wands, she balances his fiery nature. This is really important to remember. She is fiery and flowing, and at the same time, she is both authority and self-assurance. So you've got this balancing impact on her fiery nature. If we look at, and I will do separate videos on these, but I just want to put them down so you can see the difference. If you're looking at Queen of Cups, water of water, look what's happening. Too much emotion. Almost too much navel gazing. Water of air. So again, emotional expression. And this is a beautiful card. This is another one of my favorite cards. And water of earth. So, you know, you've got the compassion, the nature, the nurturing that comes with the emotion. So we will talk about these more deeply. I just wanted you to see them together. Then we have got, what I want to show you, if we look at the imagery, is we had Page of Wands. And Page of Wands, look at the salamanders on his jacket. Knight of Wands, look at the salamanders on his tunic. And King of Wands, look at the cloak with all the salamanders, and they're even on his throne. The salamanders, as we said, is a magical animal that talks about the circularity of life. That's why it's in a circle. And it is a magical animal that can pass through fire. Look at the Queen. She doesn't have any salamanders because she's, again, a tempering influence on that fiery energy. But she does have a magical animal. She has a black cat, which I think is just divine on this card. So let's talk about her symbolism, because I think she's gorgeous. So her symbolism is she's sitting with her knees apart. And the other card I'm reminded of where a woman sits with her knees apart is the Empress. Look how organized I am with my cards in order so I can find things if I need them. See, she's sitting with her knees apart. And we know with the Empress, that's an indication of divine feminine power. there's almost an indication with her that she might be pregnant. Now, we don't tend to talk about that with the Queen of Wands, but there is something about sitting in her feminine power with her knees slightly apart. She's relaxed, she's alert, and it does give, that sense of fertility. She has a leafy crown, so she's got her golden crown, but above the crown, she just has some leaves, which is abundance, prosperity, showing that she thrives in everything she does. And if you look at her wand, she's got little leaves on her wand. Her sunflowers, I just have this new appreciation of sunflowers. I went to go and see the Hobbit houses in Hobbiton in New Zealand. And when I walked in there, it's just stunning. I mean, I think of it as a garden, whether you're into hobbits or not. It was just the most gorgeous little garden. And they had a group of sunflowers, and the sunflowers were turning their heads towards the sun, and we could actually see them moving. We went in the afternoon and we could see these sunflowers just moving. And the idea of the sunflower with its head with the sun, the flower actually moving, is this idea of looking towards vitality and the source of life and the source of wisdom and knowledge and power. So I do love that symbol as well. The throne reaching up through the card, through into the sky, is symbolic of this connection between heaven and earth and divine messaging, remembering that this sense of the Queen, when we think about King Charles's coronation and he holds the orb and the scepter, and it's this thing of having this divine providence that you have. I guess we don't think about it so much now, but back in the day, it was a divine providence that you were somebody special with special messages to give and a special privilege to be ruling that was really important to be respected. You can see here you've got the desert, which represents heat and fire, and knowing that you can overcome challenges, and it is reminiscent of the fiery power of this card or element of this card. The symbolism of her cape is white, and it's a balance to her yellow gown, which indicates purity, her purity of presence. Her yellow gown is about happiness and peace and clarity of thought and enthusiasm and all of those beautiful energies that go along with yellow. The red symbolism, now she's got a red jewel right here that is holding the clasp of her cape. That's an indication, because it's near her heart, is an indication of passion. She's got a little red shoe peeking out underneath her gown, and this represents being grounded. And I know that there's something to do with now it just leaves me. Look, if you know what I'm talking about, to do with red shoes, there is someone that in spirituality that talks about, and it's just left me, wearing red shoes to keep yourself grounded, and I cannot remember who it is. But if you know, please put that down in the comments box so that everybody else can see it, because there is definitely something to do with spiritual grounding and wearing red shoes, and I've forgotten what it is, and I do not have it on my notes. Don't you hate it when that happens? The lions, and we talked about the strength card, number 8 in the major arcana. Lions, passion, strength, courage, ferocity. They can indicate being secretly fearful and putting up a big front like the roar of a lion, or being a lion-hearted or strength of heart. The blue sky, again, clarity of thought and clarity of purpose, free will, clear mind, and being able to express what it is that you want to do, that there's nothing holding you back. The grey platform that she's sitting on indicates neutrality of purpose in this particular instance. Usually grey is confusion, but in this instance, sitting on a grey throne platform is more indicating that she's neutral in the way she looks out in the world. And her black cat represents magic and the power of instinct, individuality and unpredictability. The cat is a survivor and has 9 lives, indicating the Queen is a survivor of the trials of life. The cat also is indicating that she has secrets and can keep secrets, and so is somebody to be trusted to go to in terms of wanting to, trust with secrets or wisdom, or, being a repository of knowledge and having that ability to choose what's important to talk about and what isn't. So that's the Queen of Wands. And I really love her. I really love her. How do I read her? And again, we're going to do more on reading, but just a very basic. It could be that there is a woman of power, of tempered power and trustworthiness and great active wisdom coming into your life. Or you could read the total energy of the card as the energy of the person you're reading for, or the total energy of the actual cards in the reading, depending upon what you feel. It's a gorgeous card, and when you look at the symbolism, it is just so powerful. She's just beautiful. So that is the Queen of Wands. I hope you've enjoyed her and you see a deeper meaning to the card when you recognize the elements that sit behind her. I'm going to be doing the King of Wands next, so I hope you will stick around and watch the next video. If you like my work, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.